this time I came up with the interesting term known as data. You might have heard a lot about it, right? So sometimes you would have heard it in mobile, okay, mobile data, and also in other places you would have heard this term. So today we will understand what is data and how to really handle it. Basically, data is a collection of numbers and other information which we write in a tabular form. In previous class, in class 6th, you would have studied about this data, little bit about it. So today we will go further that, right? So today we will learn from the data handling that what is average, what is mode, what is mean, what does median. So you would have heard this thing in your daily life or with people, that what is this average temperature, what is the average temperature of this week. And even this is the rainy season, so you might have heard average rainfall over the television or average temperature. So this average, you know, so average in mathematics, in other words it is called mean, right? So average and mean also we will be studying. Another name of it is arithmetic mean also. So today we will study average. So look at this example. I have taken study hours of this child Golu. Golu was studying every day. So he studied from Monday to Saturday. So first on Monday he studied for 4 hours. Then Tuesday he studied for 3 hours. Wednesday he studied for 2 hours. And Thursday he studied for 5 hours. Friday he studied for 3 hours. And Saturday he studied for 7 hours. You know, I was really surprised, how could he study for 7 hours? So it was really very surprising for me. So then his mother, what did his mother do? She wanted to find out on an average how many hours Golu you studied. So we have to find it out. So what did she do? To find it out, she asked me. So I helped her to find out. So how did I find out that? So I want to tell you what did we do. First, we have added all the study hours of the week. Means on Monday how many hours, then Tuesday, then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So all the study hours we have added. Means we made a sum of study hours. And then we divided with the number of days. So how many number of days he studied? He studied for 6 days, right? And the total number of hours. So then we have written it as average equal to number of hours he studied, that is total number of hours he studied, and then we divided it with the number of days. So what do we find with this? You know, so we found that he studied total hours 24, and then there were the number of days 6. So what do? We divided 24 with 6. So what do we get? Yes, you are right. We got the answer 4. So this 4 hours was our average, right? So 4 hours was average of Golu's study hours throughout the week, right? So in this way you can also find it out. Take some examples from your life. You can also find out the average of your sleeping hours. From this example, you can also do your exercise from NCERT textbook, that is exercise 3.1. And you have to find out, I have given some questions for you to do. The one question is the average mean bigger than each of the observations? So you have to find out. And the another question is it smaller than each observation? Now the Golu has studied for so many hours, and then Now we wanted to know which day he has studied the most. Which day he has studied for the maximum hours. So we saw that Golu has studied for maximum number of hours, that is Saturday, that is 7 hours, right? And the minimum number of hours that he studied on Wednesday. So we found from this data that maximum number of hours of his study, also minimum number of hours of his study. So we can say in any data the highest score and the lowest score. If we find the difference between these two, we call that difference as a range. So the another topic comes, the another concept comes, what is range, right? So range is found with the help of given data where we find the highest number of score or highest number of observation and the lowest number of score or lowest number of observation, right? So that difference gives you range. So you can find out in your when you are watching TV or when you are playing there also, so which cartoon you have watched the most and which cartoon you have watched for the little amount of time or for a few minutes. Then you find out what was the difference, what was the range. So you can do that also. So for that we have taken certain questions. So let me tell you one thing. What did I do with my colleagues, with my teachers? I took 5 teachers example. So I have asked them what is their age. So 5 of my teachers, they told me one has age 28 years, another has 32 years and then 35 years, 41 years and 54 years. So now I wanted to find out with the help of this age what is the average age and what is the range, means these two concepts I wanted to find out. So what did I do? It was not so very easy to just see the all the 5 numbers together and then find out. So I arranged them. How did I arrange them? There were 2 ways. You also have studied it. Either I could arrange it in ascending order or I could arrange it in descending order. So find out the highest number or the lowest number. So I could find out then who is the youngest and who is the oldest. Okay, and it would also be easy that finding out the difference between the highest and the lowest age. So I did that. So what did I found? I want to tell you. I found the age of the oldest teacher was 54 years and the age of the youngest teacher was 28 years. So then I found a difference. So difference between 54 years and 23 years, that came to be 31 years. So that was the range of my data. And then I found what is the average or what is the mean of this age. So mean age of this teacher, again I have did the same thing. What? I have added all the ages and then divided it with the number of teachers. That means sum of age of all the teachers and divided by number of teachers. So that gave me total of, it was 190 divided by 5. Okay, then I got the average 38. So this 38 came as a mean of the data taken from the teachers, right? So this is also easy. So we have found the average 2 times. Now I think you would have got quite familiar to do it, isn't it? Okay, that's great. So let's move to the other concept of mathematics, and this is very easy. I want to tell you, really, you won't, you might not be thinking, Oh yes, it is. Okay, so let's take one example. Let us see, do you play Ludo? Don't you? Yes, so you play Ludo. So what happens? You throw a die, okay, and you see the number on the top. So what we did, we were playing with children. So one of the child, what did he do? He has noted the observation, 10 observations after throwing the die. Once he thrown the die and he observed on the top what is there, so he found that it is number 2. And I am sure that all of you know how many numbers or how many dots are there on the die. Is it? Yes, 1 to 6. 0 is not there. Okay? Neither 7, 8, 9, 10. Only 1 to 6. So first observation he observed, that was 2. Then second observation was 4, and then 3, and then 2, then 1. Then again he got the 2. So same number can also come, right? So in this way he got the 10 observations. Now what was to be done? I told him, you just arrange them in ascending or descending order. So he arranged it. Why do we arrange the data? You studied this in class 6th also, but again I would like to tell you, we arrange the data for our convenience, so that it is easy for us to find it out, you know. So we can very easily find out, okay, which is the smallest, which is the highest, and which number is in the middle also. So then he arranged the numbers with the same values. So what did he found? That 2 is the number which is coming most of the time. Okay. So now I told him, this observation which is coming again and again, which is more often, that observation is called, in mathematics it has given a name. So do you know what is its name? Its name is mode. So the observation which is frequently coming or which has more frequency is called mode of the given data. Alright. So we can say the mode of a set of observation is the observation that occurs most often. Right. So the most often occurring observation is called mode. Is it clear to you? Is it clear to all? So that's really good. So can you tell me, if we have taken only 10 observations and if we have so many observations, what will you do if you have 100, 200, 50, 30? You will not be able to do it so easily. Then what is the method to do it? To do it, I would suggest you can arrange the data in tabular form. Okay, in tabular form, and then put tally marks. Suppose you have 10 observations written in a tabular form, and you can see tally marks just corresponding to that number, just before that number. So 2 is appearing 3 times, and 3 is appearing 2 times, 4 is appearing 1 times, then 5 is 3 times, then 6 is 2 times, and then we got 8 is 1 times. So now we have seen in this table which number is occurring most frequently. So I came to know, I have seen that the number 2 and 5, both of these numbers are coming same number of times, that is 3. So the mod is 3. But with this data, what do you observe? There can be 2 modes also, right? So don't get confused that there will be only 1 mode. So now here is the practice exercise for you. You can do it easily. It's given in the slide. Okay, and there is one question also which I have already answered in this lecture, which is written on the slide, so that you can answer easily. Okay, so you can do it very easily, these questions. Is it clear to you all till this concept? Are we ready to move ahead? So my dear friends, now we are ready to move to the next concept. Okay, so let's go to the next concept. Okay, before we go to that concept, I just would like to ask, do you play games? So sometimes you find that who is in the middle. Okay, so both the sides you have something, and then if you are in middle, then say yes, I am in the middle. Okay, so when you play round and round, and the person who is at the center, so we say, oh, you know, that person is in middle. So this word middle has given us another mathematics term which is known as median. Okay, so median, let us understand this median with the help of this given data. So we have data that is given, we have 24, 36, 46, 17, 18, 25 and 35. This is the data given. So now we have to find out which is the middle one. Okay, or which number is at the middle. So what do? We will again do the same thing. Let us arrange it in a ascending or descending order. That's not necessary, it is up to you. You can arrange it in descending order also or ascending order, right? So what I have done, I have arranged it in ascending order, and then we got 17, 18, 24, 25, 35, 36, 46. And then do you see this? You can see on the board that which observation is in the middle. Yes, you are right. 25 is in the middle, and after 25 we have 3 numbers, and then before 25 also we have 3 numbers. So 25 is in the middle. Okay, so we will say this middlemost observation is called median. All right, but do you see how many observations are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, since there are 7 observations, it was easy to find out which one is in the middle, right? But what happens if you have 8 observations, or say 10 observations, or say 12 observations? You must be getting what I want to say. Yes, so when you have even number of observations, what do? So we have got another formula for this, how to find out the median. So you look at this slide to find out the median when the observations are odd, means the observations or the data is given that odd number of scores or observations, right? So when they are odd, you will find the median with the help of formula n plus 1 upon 2, n plus 1 upon 2th observation. That means first you will find out how many observations are there. So just we had this example, there were 7 observations. So now total observations were 7. So n is the total number of observation. So what would we do? We would add 1 to the total number of observation. So n plus 1, that is 7 plus 1 divided by 2. So 8 divided by 2, what does that makes? That makes 4. So now you find out the number or the observation which is on the 4th place. So you find that at the 4th place you have 25. So again with the formula also we are able to find out this median, right? So when we are given odd number of observation, then we use this formula, which one? N plus 1 upon 2th observation. But what if we have even number of observations? Nothing to worry, we have the another formula which is slightly different from this, you know. So what is that? So let us see. This is n by 2th observation plus n by 2 plus 1th observation, and when you add both these observation, then divide it with the 2. Okay, so this formula will give you the median for even number of observation. So let us take this example which we did earlier. Okay, so we had 7 observations. If we have 8 observations, okay, so when I find I have even number of observation, I will be using this formula. So let me take this example. Find the median of the data where the number of observations are given, that is 17, 36, 46, 18, 25, 24 and 35. So how many observations? They are total 7 observations, right? So again 7 is the odd number. So before doing that, you have to again arrange it in ascending order and then find out the middlemost observation, or you can use the same formula because odd number of observations, so you will use the formula n plus 1 by 2th observation. So you will get the answer. But if I take the another example, say find the median of the given data, that is data is given 3, 4, 3, 4, 0, 5, 1, 3, 2 and 3. So let me count. These observations are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 observations. So it is even. So let us use the formula for even. So I have written 10 observations, then I have written the formula this n upon 2th observation plus n upon 2 plus 1th observation, right? So I get 5th observation plus 6th observation upon 2. So what is the 5th observation? That is 5th number, that is 3. And what is the 6th observation or 6th number? That is also 3. Then I add these 3 plus 3 and divide it with the 2. So it becomes 6 divided by 2, then 6 divided by 2 gives you 3. So 3 has become our median, right? So now it is easy for you to find out the median for even number of observations and odd number of observation, isn't it? Okay, great. So you can try out. So we have given some exercise and some examples in the NCERT textbook, and that too in exercise 3.2. So you can do it, practice it whenever you feel comfortable. That will be easy for you. Okay. So now we have another interesting thing, and that you just studied previously also, but we will little go ahead of it, right? And that you must be remembering, that is a bar graph. So basically bar graph, these are represented by with the bars, and that those bars have uniform width, right? So the length of the bars depend upon the frequency and the scale you have chosen. So bar graph is a representation of numbers using bars of uniform width. Okay, so you can see here in this picture the bar graph is drawn, okay, for this given table. So what I have done, I have found out the marks obtained by one child in various subjects. There were 6 children. I have found their marks obtained out of 600. So Ajay, Bali, Dipti, Farhan, Raju and Hari, they have got different score or different marks out of 600. So what did I do? I did not find their mean, mode, median, rather I wanted to see it on the graph. So I drew graph with the help of this data. But how do I do it? I need to choose some scale. So I chose a scale 1 unit equal to 100 marks, right? And marks scored out of 600. So on the x-axis I have written the name of the children, and on the y-axis I have written marks out of 600. Alright. So look at this graph. How is it? You can just looking at the graph, you can tell us who has scored the maximum marks and who has scored the least marks. You need not to calculate anything, isn't it? Just looking at the graph you can tell. So graph also gives you the information. So data can be represented on the graphs also. So in this graph, what do you observe? I see Hari has scored maximum marks and Dipti has scored the least marks. Okay. So any other observation? So we can find out, okay, Ajay and Bali, they are, the difference between the marks of Ajay and Bali is around 50 marks, right? So looking at the graph only you can give the answers. So this is called bar graph. Okay. So now we have seen what is bar graph and we have drawn it. So you have to choose the convenient scale and then you have to draw the graph. So now what if there are two scores or a data which has two things and I have to show it on the graph? So two things will be shown in the graph, that is bar graph, and that bar graph will be called as double bar graph. You know, so you know what happened? I have taken this example. As a mathematics teacher, I wanted to see whether the new technique of teaching I have applied after quarterly test and half yearly test, whether it is useful or not. So I just wanted to study. So I took the test of 25 marks for quarterly and then 25 marks for half yearly, and then I wanted to see which one is better. So I represented in this on the graph. So you see the score of 5 children, Ashish, Arun, Karuna, Maya, Rita. Quarterly they had different score and half yearly they had different score. So now you can see in the table also I have drawn a graph. So I took a scale for 1 unit equal to 5 marks, and on the other axis, on the x-axis I have written their name, and on the y-axis I have taken the marks. Alright. So I can see this graph now, quarterly and half yearly marks graph. So this is giving me in which test they perform better, just looking at the graph. So this is called double bar graph. Okay. So two things together we are representing in a double bar graph. Alright. So this is called double bar graph. Now let us move to the another topic which is known as probability. So let us take the example of playing Ludo, or we can take the example of die. So what we can do, we toss a die and let us find out what are the chances of coming 4. Okay, I have thrown the die once. So a die when tossed, what is the probability of landing up with 4 on top? What would be the probability? How many total numbers are there? how many chances are there? So there are 6 numbers. Out of that, 4 is the one number which can come. Okay, so 1 upon 6, that is total number of chances of occurring an event which we take those total number of chances at the denominator and the chances of occurring an event in the numerator. So we write this as probability is measured as the number of favorable outcomes and divided by total or the all possible outcomes. So this is called probability of happening of any event. So we have studied average, which is also known as mean. We have studied range, mode, median. What else? Use of bar graph, chance or probability of happening any event. So in this class we would like to end it here, and in the next class we will come up with the wonderful topic. Till that you can rest, you can practice, and then you can energize, and please don't forget to take care of you. And this situation of this present situation is very tough, and you have to remain healthy, and you are the future of our country. So my dear children, thank you so much. Take good care of you. Thank you.